In this short video, we're going to talk about why you, as a student of a scientific degree, that is a Bachelor in the Sciences, should care about philosophy at all. Whether you're thinking philosophically about producing research, as you will be in this module, or when you're thinking about interpreting the results of research and evidence that's being used to support arguments about what you should or perhaps should not do in your applied work, philosophy is very important. Philosophy helps us provide a historical context to the modern science that we do and the various branches that it has, and it can help scientists and applied practitioners to understand and appreciate the evolution of thought over their various respective fields. By engaging with philosophy, students can help move beyond being mere technicians who are just capable of either implementing certain techniques in their applied practice or in designing studies and handling data, and instead can become real seekers of knowledge with a deep understanding of foundational concepts within their field. Studying philosophy, at least in some way, can help students also improve their communication skills and become better at articulating complex scientific concepts and theories. It can help them to develop their ability to form arguments. And philosophy can help students come up with more creative and innovative research ideas, including theories, models, study designs, analyses, etc. It encourages you to check the assumptions that you're making, think laterally, and come up with outside-of-the-box problem-solving strategies. A couple of quotes now I think really express why understanding philosophy and appreciating philosophy to some degree is important for a student of the sciences. So in this quote, Albert Einstein, in a letter to Robert Thornton in 1944, notes, "A knowledge of the historic and philosophical background gives that kind of independence from prejudices of his generation from which most scientists are suffering. This independence created by philosophical insight is, in my opinion, the mark of distinction between a mere artisan or specialist and a real seeker after the truth." Karl Popper, who was a famous philosopher of science, also echoed this thought when he said, "In this context, one point should be mentioned, a point which I think may be connected with the present crisis of the universities." He was writing this in 1968, and I think it still applies today. "It is this. More and more technicians are needed. As a consequence, more and more PhD students, and you can consider undergraduate students to be included in this as well, are trained only as technicians. Often they're trained only in measuring techniques. And you can also extend this to thinking of techniques that you might apply in terms of interventions out in the applied practice world. They're not even told what more fundamental problems are to be solved by the measurements or the techniques, for example, that they're doing for their doctor's thesis." Now, philosophy itself is broken down into four primary branches, or at least the philosophy of science is broken down into four primary branches. Those are ontology, epistemology, axiology, and logic. Now, what do these terms mean? Ontology refers to essentially what there is to know about. It's the assumptions we make about the nature of the reality that we're trying to understand with our scientific research. Epistemology refers to the process that we use to know about it. So considering what we think there is to know about, it informs us how we go about knowing about it. Axiology then refers to the values that we hold as scientists. What things do we think are important to consider? And logic itself is how we form our arguments, how we draw inferences from data. In the next series of short videos, I'm going to go through each of these in turn and give you some information to understand each of the concepts and how you might apply them in your own work.